Well, folks, I do believe it's been a long time coming. Because it has been a long time coming. I've literally had this footage archived for quite a while now.
Oh boy.
In the hopes we would do the entire thing with Celia on tow, but unfortunately, she's got other obligations, and we'd rather have her on board for other projects anyway, so I decided to bridge this whole project into one epic package.
Remember, Mega Man, you're a part of my package now.
You're not the Blue Bomber.
Well, he is blue.
Man, I miss the Capcom sound too. That's a Capcom jingle I don't hear too often anymore.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first lesson in Robonautics with our host, Dr. Light.
Don't you mean robotics?
I know what I said.
Wait, alright, okay, there it goes.
Oh. Is there supposed to be dialogue right now, or is this just him presenting Mega Man to the people?
That's literally all it is. He's presenting Mega Man to the people.
He was a man who likes hot dogs and roller coasters and hot dog... What the? Who turned off the lights?
I was in the middle of a lovely introduction.
Oh,
Yo.
why are we hugging each
Hey!
other? What? Where are all these other people? Where are all these people coming from?
Who are you people?
Who are you people?
Knock it down. Wait till we give me its handcarved mahogany. We can't... Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's a lot of robots.
The whole gang's here today.
Yeah, so welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Mega Man, the Wily Wars, or Rockman Mega World, for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. And this is a very special thing in the fact that, well, since the game's initial release on the Sega channel way back when, and its immediate, complete disappearance and lack of any physical media in the States,
Wily Tower.
it came back with a vengeance as a, exclusive for the Sega Genesis Mini.
Huh. It looks like it's like a collection, like 1, 2, and 3 together.
Along with a special new game that is unlocked if you beat all 3 of the original Mega Man games, the Wily Tower, which, yeah, that's what we're doing for today.
You metallic moron! I'm not finished with you yet.
Oh, hey, I recognize those guys.
I still
yeah.
have a few hundred tricks up my sleeve.
Yeah, it does sound like something he said.
You'd be surprised how they can all fit in there. These 3 robots were specially designed to smash you like a tin can. Sorry, this
Like a
Texas
tiny
accent.
tin can.
Try not to go to pieces, Mega Man. Ha!
I laugh at you. So looks like we have 3 guys here. It looks like they're based on Journey to the West and a Kappa.
I mean, yeah, they're all based on Journey to the West, and the cool thing about these 3 Robot Masters, because they're the only 3 that we're going to be fighting in the game, they each have multiple weaknesses. And what I mean by that is because, for this particular mode, we actually have access to every single weapon that you can unlock from Mega Man's 1 through 3.
Oh, cool. That honestly, apart from Smash Brothers, I'm surprised they don't do something like this more often. Like I have to assume, like, after each game, you're not forgetting about all your power-ups, a la Samus from Metroid, like being able to like have access to old weapons you've used before.
I mean, yeah, it is kind of crazy to me to think that they don't do stuff like this more often. Though I understand at the end of the day that, well, with each new Mega Man, I mean, people will always be craving brand new possibilities for weapons. So, I mean, I can sort of understand that case. And I mean, for all we know, maybe Dr. Light has these all stored up in his databanks if in the event like this that he ever does need them again. Thankfully, this is like one of the rare exceptions.
I forgot, is item 1 from Mega Man 1, is that the one that goes side to side?
I think item 1
Or is that the one that climbs up walls?
I think that's the vertical one, yeah.
Alright, so let's try it out and defeat Sun Wukong.
I mean, yeah, Son, also known as Buster Raji. So yeah, I guess it
Also
should be.
known as
I guess
Son
we go
Goku. Yes, that is his actual Japanese name. Get
Actually,
it, people.
I was gonna call him Monkey Kid.
Yeah, that's
Monkey!
So James, continue. How is Wily Wars?
Okay, so Wily Wars, I mean, I guess as a game as a whole, well, as I mentioned before, it pretty much brought back the original trilogy of Mega Man games, not counting 4, 5, and 6, and they pretty much brought them to Genesis standards, even though the most that they really did was touch up most, if not all, the sprite work from the original NES game. I mean, aside from Mega Man himself, every other sprite in this game looks like it was just taken from the original and recolored. And it's most especially obvious if you pair up Mega Man with Proto Man in Mega Man 3. Like, the dude literally looks like he stunted his growth a bit.
But I do like this idea. It's almost like this is pretty much like the Mario All-Stars of Mega Man.
Kind of, yeah.
Although I will also say that there's kind of a reason why not a lot of people look to Wily Wars as highly as, say, Super Mario All-Stars, because for one thing, from what I immediately remember, Wily Wars was outsourced to a third party. Which would also explain why the overall quality of the game, especially for Genesis standards, seems a little subpar. Like, this is just right after we've already had the likes of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and it's like, the Genesis can pull better than this, especially from freaking Mega Man.
I want to ask, though, just like, even though they're remakes of the first 3 games, do they control, like, any differently from those 3 games?
I feel like the physics are a slight bit different, but not too terribly different to really throw you off that badly. I would honestly I guess the best comparison I could make is like if you were to compare the original Crash trilogy to the Insane trilogy.
Okay.
That's not too bad.
I'm also noticing that as far as these about this Wily Tower, it's more or less a hodgepodge, a mashup of all the stuff we've seen in the other 3 games.
Pretty much all the enemies from the original 3 games have come into full force. Like again, we dealt with the big snake thing from Snake Man earlier, and now we're dealing with Guts Man's union workers.
Oh God!
Come on! Now he's
Seems
frozen.
gutsy.
There we go.
You see, this was one of my many budget cuts that I had to go through. I thought I found a workaround until 11 came around.
So I will say, never owned a Genesis, never played this one. Anyone else here ever play this?
Nope.
In fact, James, how are you playing this?
As I said, through the Sega Genesis Mini, because again, this is like the very first time those that live in the States actually can buy the game legitimately without having to rely on imports.
Hooray! I wish they would add more Genesis.
Well,
stuff
I
to
feel
Switch.
like there's an importance for those.
There you go.
Oh, of
but
course.
yeah, no.
I mean, like we brought up in our Genesis Mini look at, like they brought in a couple of curveballs for that package. Like we got again the Wily Wars, we got Earthworm Jim, two of the Mickey Mouse games for the Genesis, among other things.
I am curious. Whenever you're playing Mega Man 1 and 2, do they give you the slide move as you can in 3?
Oh no! For those games, they do revert back to the original controls but before you actually have the slide.
Alrighty.
I mean, to be fair, like, I know Powered Up kind of does it, but I don't really see how detrimental or beneficial some of those moves could be with, like, Mega Man 1 level design.
The Metal Blade. That is way too still overpowered.
True
I'm not
staple.
going to be, though. With that said, I'm actually going to be using Bubble Lead for our first boss.
Oh, here we go.
Like I said, each robot master here actually does have multiple weaknesses, and some are just clearly better than others.
Bring it, motherfucker!
So Buster Raji
Ow.
here, he is mostly weak to the bubble
Ow.
lead.
Oh, be careful with his
folks.
staff.
He's weak to fucking
You can't
bubbles.
beat me!
Ow.
Bubbles! Get the bubbles! Okay, almost.
Come on.
Stop
I
with
have
the extendo stick.
I have a rod. How am I not able to poke it?
You want to know the weird thing about Buster Raji, though? Unlike all of his other brethren, he actually doesn't immediately die. He leaves the scene.
Oh!
Yeah, he has a bit of health left.
Huh.
Something tells me we're going to have to deal with him again later.
Likely.
I feel like we have to go on a journey to the west for him.
Nah, actually, he went north.
The journey to Wily's Tower.
Little does he know they actually went north.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Okay, so let's go fight a Kappa.
Yep, we're going to go fight us a Kappa. Mega Water S. I don't get some of these names either.
Yeah, I don't know what they stand for. But, okay.
I mean, Mega Water makes sense. He is mostly a water creature. Buster Rod makes sense because he uses a buster. And then there's the pig. I honestly forgot his name already. Actually, I do have the Mega Man homepage on my.
I think it's Hyperstorm.
Hyperstorm H. That's it.
Gandalf.
I guess in that case,
I will stick to calling him Roadhog. Thank you very much.
Also, look, you can see Green Hill in the
God,
background.
him.
Oh shit,
Oh.
it is.
Ah.
Anyway,
The
goodbye,
universes
Green
truly
Hill.
are connected.
Be careful.
Oh,
slow
the
coaches.
spikes.
I guess that's one thing that Archie accidentally skipped out on with that Genesis reboot thingy.
Yeah,
Actu-
something's left
Well,
over.
if you're talking about, I was about to say, if you're talking about the crossover, what am I trying to say? The robots from this game are actually in the first crossover.
Oh yeah,
Really?
I remember.
They pretty much brought in almost every.
I
robot
almost
master
voiced
from
one.
from that time.
I still give Archie credit as that they. I mean, as we were talking about how
Oops.
the shrimp are like, get him.
Now that's kind of a dick move, not gonna lie.
Thankfully, there was a checkpoint right there.
Thank goodness.
Also, sorry if I spoiled the ooh. I think I might be about a second ahead of you guys.
No, I didn't say. No, yeah, I'm fine. What was I say? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier in the week. Was we were like how they even brought back characters from the freaking Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
AOSTH, like I remember, someone posted a picture of Von Schlemmer from AOSTH and compared it to how he appeared in the Silver Age arc, and it's like these are the same person.
I will give Archie I will give Archie credit. They knew how to make use of all the.
Corporate wants you to tell them what's the difference between these two pictures.
Thank you, damage buff.
There you are.
They're the exact
I can't see it. I can't see it. I don't know what's going on here. But I will give him. Oh, there we go. I will give him credit. I almost want to say maybe the reason why. Oh.
Actually, wait, that might not be it.
I was gonna say, yeah. Wait, how are you gonna do hard knuckle on that
Yeah.
thing?
Oh wait,
yeah.
never mind. I think that was what I needed.
Go hard knuckle.
Do
Thank God this game doesn't pull any of that same shit that Mega Man 2 did with its
Go!
security system
Punch
boss.
that brick!
Yeah, no, I hate the security system thing where it's just like, oh, done. Yep, you'll never get past it. What was it say?
Yeah.
I think I almost want to say maybe the reason why Archie went full out with using all the resources they had was because after the whole Penders thing, they learned, yeah, we shouldn't try to do this. We shouldn't try to do the stuff originally, otherwise that gets to some really weird territory. And okay, granted, all the original characters they created after the Pender stuff was still pretty darn cool, like all the Eggman.
Oh yeah, like
people.
I honestly miss a lot of the I honestly miss a lot
Nice.
of the post reboot characters like a Relic and the Egg Bosses.
Do they, James, in Wily Wars, can you do the pause glitch?
Nope. Pause glitch is
well.
unfortunately a NES only option,
Alright.
and even then, it was
Yeah.
only really a thing in the first game anyway.
True.
Fun fact!
Which means that yes, you will unfortunately have to face the Yellow Devil legitimately. Though thankfully, because of the Genesis because of the limitations of the system that they were using,
Oh,
or just the overall engine that they were using, the Yellow Devil is a lot slower in the Wily Wars than he is in the original.
Yeah.
That is also very good.
Also,
Get out of here, top man.
Fun fact about the Yellow Devil. When I first beat Mega Man 1, it was actually on my ex's NES Classic. And
Uh-huh.
fun fact, I did both
Oh.
legitimate...
Oh. That's a
Oh
darn.
boy, free lunch!
I both legitimately beat the Yellow Devil, and I also did the cheat.
Yeah, I and my.
Because I did the cheat at first, but then I was like, I wonder if I could do this for real. And then I did it for
Famous-
real.
Thank God for save states.
Famously, in my first Let's Play ever, which was of Mega Man 1, I had to use the glitch on him.
Oh, actually, before I forget, special mention to the soundtrack for the Wily Wars, specifically for the Wily Tower. The game, most of the remixes from the Wily Wars range from pretty decent to kind of mediocre, but all the tracks from the Wily Tower are definitely pretty good.
So are we legitimately just stuck down here?
You can get on top of the platform, I think, if you jump.
I don't think so, because look, because once you're out of the water, you fall faster, and you can't
that's
reach
true.
that platform, and right underneath the platform are spikes.
Well, actually, no. You technically could get on that platform if you use
If you use
your
Rush or
items.
something, I feel like.
Right, I think that's what they expect you to do. But
Yeah,
even
that's
then,
fair.
that's really not necessary for that flight.
So who's ready
Alrighty.
for some Robo Pork?
Yay, barbecue.
Hyperstorm.
Hyperstorm H.
I assume this will be the electricity guy. Whoa, he's much bigger than I thought he was gonna. I think this may actually be one of the biggest robot masters that we fought up to this point.
Assuming we're not counting any of the Mavericks from Mega Man X, yeah,
no,
that literally is
regular.
the largest.
Yeah.
Well, again, if we're not counting that stuff, that is
Well-
easily the biggest Robot Master-esque boss we've seen in Mega Man Classic.
Well, don't we
I should say.
also? Well, don't. I was about to say, like, was 7 out around this time?
I believe. No. It was actually about a year off.
Okay. Oh, because yeah, I know where you're going. I know where you're coming from. There, 7 on the SNES did have some pretty big. 8-2 had some pretty big robot masters. Careful. Oh, jeez.
I would honestly say that Hyperstorm H is definitely up there with being one of the biggest in the franchise.
Uh-oh.
Well, that
Those
was
things
useful.
look so derpy.
There's just that moment of like, oh god, they're coming. We
I
can't
thought-
stop them.
I thought that would have worked. But yeah, no, the soundtrack for the Wily Tower is it's easily some of the best stuff in the overall. I mean, honestly, some of the best stuff overall in the series.
Look,
Let me
the
Google up
Wily
who did
Tower
it.
songs are great, but in my opinion, nothing beats 2. Let's be
Fair,
fair.
but here, let me check and see who did the composing.
I
Okay.
mean, I'm not going to disagree with you there, Matt. Though it does have some steep competition from 9 at the very least.
Oh, hey, this is
Nine
actually pretty
has-
neat.
Yeah.
The composer for this is the same as Castlevania.
Wait,
Huh,
seriously?
which?
Which Castlevania?
Yeah. Like the OG 86 Castlevania on NES.
Nice.
Oh, fancy that.
And Pocky and Rocky, the composer's name was...
Oh, God, Pocky and Rocky.
Oh, Pocky and Rocky. That I remember that game having a pretty good soundtrack.
So the composer was Kinuyo Yamashita. And let me see what else they did. They also composed for Mega Man X3.
Okay, am I the only one who thinks that those giant green barrels in the background look like platforms?
A little. I mean, if the lighting was a little bit odd, I could see that. What else did this person compose for?
I will
Power
say
Blade.
X3, I definitely remember not having that great of a soundtrack. I mean, it's not so much that it's a terrible soundtrack. I just think the instrumentation was kind of bland.
They're the composer for Parodius.
Ooh.
I honestly never realized that all this time. Parodius.
Yeah, fuck it, cheat it.
I will also admit all this time. Part of me always thought I will also admit part of this time I always thought Parodius was actually done by Konami. I had no idea that all this time Parodius was just being tongue-in-cheek done by Capcom.
What?
I want to ask, because I've seen you use the... I was about to say, I've seen you use the slide a few times. Are we still able to use the charge in this mode?
This was before the charge.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, was that 4?
That was 4, yeah.
Who was in charge of that idea?
I was about to say, I could have sworn the slide and the charge were introduced in the same game.
Nope. Charge wasn't until 4, but 3, at the very least, we got the slide.
I like how you did the same mistake.
Short-term circuits.
Yeah.
Short-term circuits in the brain, I need to say.
Come to me, my dog.
I only remember things that happened in the past 5 minutes. Who are you again?
So, all in all, it looks like a pretty decent challenge and like a nice... Oh, boy, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck
okay, not too
you.
bad. Oh, look at him.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I love the look on their face as their parachute drops. It's like, ooh.
That was a close one. But, okay, but yeah, I was gonna say, like, it looks like a pretty decent challenge, and on it looks pretty fun for some nice, like, original levels by them.
Oh, that
big
wall
boy.
is an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so by the way, Hyperstorm H has 2 health bars.
2 health bars?
Yep. He's gotta make up for that size somehow.
Yep.
Also,
Be careful.
can the wall insta-kill you?
I forget if it does or not, but granted, if you know what you're doing, the wall is like the least of your worries.
Yeah.
So I will say definitely this is a first. I don't think I've ever seen a boss have more than 1 health bar like this.
Yeah,
Not to
and
my
I mean, Hyperstorm H, being a heavy motherfucker, he doesn't move around a lot, so he's pretty much a big walking target.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
Wait.
What? Oh yeah, I forgot about Bomb Man. I don't know why. I always forget that Mega Man
How could you forget about the Afro Duck?
because all I think about with Bomb Man's real ability is that it's just Poppy Brothers.
Also, Afro Duck, that's highly inaccurate. He's clearly a Mohawk Duck.
Yeah, it's a mohawk.
Mohawk, sorry. I don't know why I got the two confused.
Mohawk Duck. That's the duck.
I'm going to emulate Logan here. It's a mohawk, you uncultured swine!
There you go.
I think he needs to say a Mo Quack. On that note, folks, see you all for we actually go through the Wily Tower itself.
Hooray!
Try not to bust your conch, though, right?
Fuck you.